All right, Royce Unchained here, SKOR North. If we could have measured the average sphincter of Wolves fans when that, once again,
Got
a
down to 10.
22-point lead and it's down to
Yes,
10 with like 5 minutes
yes.
left. Oh,
I
man.
didn't really think it could happen because Memphis was playing such horrible defense. But then Judd and I were exchanging texts, and our guys run up the court and shoot when they're trying to protect the 22-point lead.
So
But
dumb.
I've been thinking about this for a week, and I think after last night, this is one of my favorite all-time Minnesota teams because
They're good
it's
too.
it's the most unpredictable collection. You go from getting outscored 34-3 to getting 52 points in a quarter, which is the most that any NBA team has scored in a quarter this season.
Yeah.
Even the Celtics shooting 42 threes in a quarter. It's unbelievable. It was, I mean, they were great for yeah, I'm screaming at the TV when they're letting Bain shoot these. Did anyone in the first half consider maybe running out there and going like this?
It's
Hey,
crazy.
because he's the only guy they got who's going to make threes like that. But then the third quarter, they were phenomenal, and Randall was really good for 3 quarters. I thought he was terrific, and they figured out Rudy too. Throw the ball to him when he can dunk. That's
Yes.
it. Don't not
No, and
2 feet.
bounce.
No,
Limit the
no.
bounce passes. Just lob it
Yes.
right up there.
Two. When he's 3 feet from the basket, no. When he's a foot and a half, yes. Throw him the ball, and then he can dunk. His shooting percentage is phenomenal on dunks. So
Yeah.
let's keep it at that. But boy, last night it was what Jalen Clark got about 3 minutes, and that was it. It was
Oh
the
yeah,
eight
it
eight
was two
bets. It was the
two
eight
actual
bets.
minutes and then the 1 minute of garbage time. But this
Yeah.
is we are full circle, baby. We are
Back to
back to
the
the 8-man
back
rotation. We don't
back.
trust Jalen Clark anymore.
No, no, not even him. I thought they might use him to guard Bain for a while. Maybe somebody go
Well,
out there, but
could I make the case that this is not to make excuses for their inability to hold 20-point leads with 10 minutes to go, but they do when you pour in that much energy to take a 20-point lead on
yes,
the road
right,
against a
that's
good team,
true.
you're tired in the fourth
Yes,
quarter. And I'm if you Jalen Clark playing 10 minutes, if
yes.
nothing else, give someone else a breather so that they're not huffing and puffing in the fourth quarter, right?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, Ant was sitting over there looking like he was dead, and I mean, he didn't score in the fourth quarter, right? He had 44 after three, right? Did
Correct.
he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't score in the fourth quarter, but yeah, I got the bride to watch like the half of it for it with me, and she was the only one I could say, "You don't think they're gonna do this again, do you?" She didn't know what I was talking about, but I had to
Do what
explain.
again?
You don't think they're gonna, you don't think they can do this again? But here's my big question on the whole game last night. Does the NBA really think that a guy pretending to shoot a gun is any better than a guy throwing a hand grenade and then covering his ears? I mean, is
Yeah.
this a better? Is I because my theory is if you shoot a gun, you're apt to shoot like 1, 2 people, right? If you throw a hand grenade, you might kill a whole, 20 of them. What?
He's really testing the NBA's patience
Yes, yes.
on like hypothetical like celebrations where you might kill someone.
Yes,
Yeah,
but
it's
anyway, that to back. I mean, he's great offensively, but he doesn't guard anybody either. So, yeah, it was a fun night. I'll say that. The 52-point quarter is just they were so good in that third quarter. You couldn't believe it really, and then to make an adventure. But you know what that means? They're going to be down 12 early tonight against the Brooklyn, and D'Lo's going to go nuts and get
I think D'Lo's
32.
out. I think
Oh,
D'Lo's
D'Lo,
out.
shucks, D'Lo's hurt
I
because I
think
thought
he's
he,
Shucks.
I thought
Everyone's out.
I thought he'd get 32 against them or something. Everyone's out, but it makes no difference.
No, they'll still fall behind by 12.
Yes, right. It what he should do tonight is start Luca and Clark and Shannon's hurt, but start five guys like that and let them play the first quarter, and then bring the regulars in after that. But
Well, he was even after last night with like a minute to go or a little over a minute to go, and Memphis waved the white flag and put all their
yeah,
reserves in.
yeah.
And
He
Finch
waited.
Finch pulled Ant but left the other starters in. And then well, Conley had to shoot some free throws, so Conley
Yeah,
stayed out there till the end of
yeah.
the game. But he doesn't trust, man.
He waited.
Till that
He
plane
waited
is
to go.
wheels down on the tarmac, he does
Yes.
not.
And we complained about Tibbs.
Oh God, yes. Yeah, it's when last night he went in there, and that was not, we weren't going to see any of those guys. I mean, but it was fun. There was no doubt about it. And now this is, if they win them both, they're
They're in
they're
the
out of the
six for
play-in.
sure. Yep.
Okay, because the other
And
teams play each other, right?
And right now, because the Clippers play the Warriors on Sunday, and tonight, back to back, Denver and the Grizzlies play each other, and then there's a
Yes.
couple other. So you're going to have some teams beating other teams that are right above you. According to the different playoff projection sites, the highest percentage seed that the Wolves are destined for is the 4 seed right now. It's a
No, they
40%
can't
chance at
be
the
a
4
four.
seed. Yeah.
That's that's
And it could
incredible.
be Denver that you face in that
But
5 seed then.
but what is the NBA doing now? They like to crowd these games in the last week. They're making Memphis. You can't make Memphis play at 8:45 and then go to Denver. Can you? That's what they do though. It's unbelievable. They at least don't give them the second game on TNT that gets over at midnight, for goodness sakes. I don't know what I it's it's an they it's an it's a wearing game. I mean, Memphis last night battled their ass off, and
Yeah.
now they're supposed to go out to Denver and put up a fight. It's
It is
stupid.
crazy. Yeah.
It is unbelievable. But yeah, I don't know. Nothing in the history of Minnesota sports compares to getting outscored 34-3 and 2 nights later having a 52-point quarter.
It is
I don't think
absolutely
it's
wild. Yeah.
I don't think
Pat, one of the things we were talking about on Flagrant Howls today is okay, there's the NBA is so much about math now because it's
yes,
everywhere you
right.
have to shoot a certain number of
Yes.
threes at a certain percentage. But when you're up by 20, 22 points with 12 or 10 minutes to go, the Wolves shot 11 threes with a 20-point lead in the fourth
Yes.
quarter last night.
Yes.
But you can, and that's in the small window of 10 minutes, you could go cold and go 2
Oh
for 12,
yes.
which they did. And now there's long rebounds and transition going back the other way. I was screaming at the TV just alone with Maya the
Yes.
dog.
Well,
Stop shooting threes. Go
yes,
get
right.
in
John,
deep.
John and I were saying the same things. Run some clock. Try to get a pulse. Yeah, it's unbelievable. But the NBA now, there's this thought that they're going to try to shorten the games. That would be a disaster. The one thing the greatest thing the NBA has going for them is no lead is safe, right? I could say you could play 12, 10, 10, and then 12, but the fourth quarter's got to be 12
That'd
minutes.
be great. So wait, you're saying the Wolves would get rid of 4 minutes? Can we choose the
Yes.
4 minutes that we're getting rid of?
No,
What if
no,
we
we
did
can't.
12, 12, 12, and 8, and the game
Yeah.
stopped before the four
Yes,
minute mark?
right. Yeah, they'd be like 60 and 12 then or something like that. I don't know. It was hysterical though, to see that performance after the other one. And I would like to, Finchie basically obviously told them Tuesday, don't tell everybody how embarrassed you are and how awful it was. We got to worry about Memphis. So they apparently they were in there making jokes after the game Tuesday night. Can you imagine? Can you imagine Tibbs' team if you're in there making a joke after you get outscored 34-3? I
Yeah.
Mussy. I don't think
Mussy,
Mussy would
Mussy.
take that well.
No, he would not take that well. Do not take that well. No, Mussy would not go for this incredible inconsistency. That's for sure.
Yep. So, well, we'll know more on Monday. If they can win these 2 games, they're probably going to be the 4 or the 5 seed,
Now
and then it could be
Utah,
Lakers if they're the 6 seed.
Utah's going to find their players if they win, right? I mean, they're
Well,
Utah.
their coach might get fired.
Oh, really?
No, I'd fire the coach if they win.
Oh, they win.
If the Nets or Jazz win, I'm
Yeah.
firing the coach because you
You got the
are
young
a
guy.
dereliction of
Well,
duty.
the Nets, I guess the Nets are kind of, I think I saw that the Nets are kind of locked in to their
for their
fates.
spots.
So they actually might have
Okay.
a little more inspiration to just win a
Then just
game
the
and
Jazz
play
fire the
spoiler.
coach.
They can try, but there's no doubt that they'll. By the middle of the second quarter, the crowd will be what's going on?
Yeah.
There's no doubt they're going to turn it into a war. That's
The Jazz did win their last game on Wednesday against the
Really?
Portland Trailblazers, who
Oh.
might also, now that they've been eliminated from the
Yeah.
play-in, they might now
They're
be
trying. They're both trying.
they're trying to
lose.
tank at the end of
You
the
take
year
the game
too.
now. You take it.
yeah. Well,
Oh, man.
it was entertaining to say the least. But that Memphis team, the one they played 2 years ago, right? 2 years ago,
Yeah.
Mhm.
they were rugged and grinders
Yeah.
and beating you
Yeah.
up, and now they're running up and down the court and not playing any defense, and it's really a changed team. I mean, they were tough, hard nosed guys, and now they fired the tough, hard nosed coach. They fired him. So
Did they have Dylan Brooks 2 years ago in that
yeah, I
series
think
Yeah.
too?
yeah, right.
Yes.
He added a saltiness to
Yeah.
them.
Mhm.
Yes, he did.
He's not a great player, but he just adds
Oh.
a certain saltiness to any team
That's
he's on.
Yes. Yep.
That is,
And
that
even
is-
Taylor Jenkins, like the whole thing is,
Yeah.
yeah.
it's crazy how, man, and the Malone thing, the more that comes out about that, it's like, what were they? They were going to fire it. So they basically, the owner, Kroenke's kid, right? Is it Josh Kroenke is the operator now? Basically said, yeah, we were going to do this anyways. And sometimes the wins and the win-loss record can mask. He's basically saying, I didn't want us to win a playoff series and
Then I
then
couldn't
have to,
fire him.
yeah.
And why were the players down on him, or why were they down on him?
It sounds like there was one story that came out yesterday, among others, that Malone treated Russell Westbrook like a superstar, and Russell Westbrook is one of the most space-headed, inefficient players in the league. And there was some pushback among players that, hey, if you're going to treat Jokic like a star, okay, Jamal Murray, but Russell Westbrook is a Tasmanian devil who turns the ball over all the time, and that
Well,
there
they
was some.
probably were trying to show some respect to a guy who can't play anymore because you ended up putting him on your team.
Right. You went and got him. That's exactly right.
Yeah, yeah. I guess that was the problem. Russell is a. It's not good to be a guard that can't shoot anymore in the NBA, which is
Yeah.
Russell's big problem. But
And he gets very
Calvin
offended when
Booth-
people point that out and call him Russell Westbrick. It's very
Yes,
triggering for him.
Calvin Booth takes the fall too, though, the GM, right? Although some of us here in Minnesota don't like Calvin the way we used to, because supposedly he was the one that told his 6'7" daughter, the volleyball player, who's phenomenal, to transfer to Wisconsin when the
Oh,
took place. So we're Carter Booth. We're down on Calvin for telling her to get out of here. So
boo.
Did she get
Boo.
paid at least?
I think she might have got a little. I don't. NIL isn't doing much in volleyball yet, but
All
it
right.
might pick up now. It might pick up.
That's
But
a
she,
pretty good sport.
Sounds like the that Colorado State guard, by the way. Doogie gave us this nugget on the Scoop podcast that Nico was going to bring that point guard, Kyron, or I can't remember his name, but he winds up going to North Carolina for like $2 or $3 million.
what?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh yeah, I know. He was going to get 2 Colorado States, and he only got 1. Huh?
Yeah.
So I can't believe these numbers. I can't. Now, is that like is that for a year, or is that?
I
a
think they're
3-year
only 1-year
deal?
deals, aren't they?
So today, guys, is a rumor that Tennessee starting quarterback didn't show up for spring practice. He's denying this, but the theory is he's holding out.
He's
Oh,
holding
sure.
out.
He wants
Oh, yeah.
more money than he's getting, so he's holding out. So Chip
Well, we
Scoggins
did-
got some serious problems in Vols country.
We did have one guy who went into the port. He continued to play because you can still play when you're in the portal, right? But we did have a Sweet 16 guy go into the portal before the
But he can play.
from the first weekend to the second weekend. He went in.
And once you
He
go in
was
the
basically
portal,
he
you can't
basically
go
was saying,
back, right? So you can keep, because I feel like once you hit the portal, you're gone. Like you can't go back
yeah, but he
unless
played.
you're in the Sweet 16, I guess, and then you can
Yeah,
finish
yeah,
out.
yeah. But that's honest. I'm saying pretty soon they're going to have guys saying the agent's going to call them up on Monday and said, if you want me to play Thursday, I need more money. You know, it's there's
Yeah.
this.
Oh, we're in the Final Four now, huh? Oh, looks
Yeah,
like the price just went up.
that's right. That's right. So, by the way, we didn't talk about the Final Four. Duke losing was great, but have you ever seen anything worse than what Houston was attempting to run the last minute and a half of it?
And
That
Samson
they
was
got a
just
guy
standing
out there
there.
rolling around on the floor with the ball. What the hell was they didn't? You're 7, 8 seconds to go, and some idiot's still out there dribbling by the mid court line when you don't have a shooter on your whole team. Man, that was awful.
That was
It
rough,
was
man.
awful. Yeah, I was rooting for them too. So anyway,
Yeah, that would
Yeah.
have been a great story because the Duke meltdown was glorious to watch.
oh yeah, it was. It was fantastic. So our Twinkies, what's our with Festa? Everybody. The starters are too tired. We got to stretch them. We got to give them an extra day here this time of year. Panic,
Long stretch of days.
trying to
Yeah.
they're trying to get as far away from Panic's next start as they possibly can. What?
So we're just bumping Paddock to tomorrow, right? That's so
I
Festa
believe so.
tonight, Paddock tomorrow, and then we'll figure out Sunday with Zebby probably, right?
Oh, Zebby's going to replace.
Or no,
I
it's
don't
going to
know.
be Simeon Woods
It'll be
Richardson
Sim.
Sunday,
And
Zebby on
then
Monday.
and then
Pablo
Zebby on
is
Monday.
replacing Pablo Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they can't hit.
No.
There's no hitting here. That's that's just they can't hit. They get two runs. They're lucky. It's brutal. Although Eddie Julian had some good swings yesterday, I'll say that he hit that ball hard to center field. Maybe I was ripping him a couple days ago, but maybe he can hit. He can't play second base, but maybe he can hit the ball a little bit.
If
I
you're
agree, yeah.
KC, though, you go get Ty France. I would give the Twins whatever they want. Because in Kauffman
He
Stadium,
rakes.
Ty France is Ted
What
Williams.
is that?
Mhm.
Is that
makes
like
no
a thing?
Oh
That
yeah.
makes
Oh,
no
yeah.
Yes.
The guys who ripped up the target field were Encarnacion and
But
Jose
Joey Bats.
Batista.
Yeah.
Joey
Batista.
Bats and guys. They didn't. It wasn't tied France for a good. It was,
Ty France and
how's that
Kauffman.
work? I
Phenomenal.
don't get
It's
how
Brett.
that possibly could work. So
Oh yeah, holy cow. Okay,
Yeah.
so Ty
like
France,
500.
he's batting 473, slugging 800 at Kauffman Stadium. He has 3 strikeouts, 10 walks drawn.
Wow.
That's wild.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
12 extra base hits in 70 plate appearances.
Yesterday, I listened to a little Ryan Lefevre when I was watching the game, switching back and forth. And, I like Provis, but I like to get a little Ryan Lefevre. And they were lamenting the greatness of France against, we can't get this guy out. They couldn't quite figure that out, to say the least.
Here's the bad news, boys. So he's had about the same number of plate appearances at Kauffman Stadium in his career as he has at Target Field. His OPS is a third of what it is at Kauffman Stadium at Target Field. So, yeah.
I got a question about the Tigers this weekend. Why aren't they pitching Skubal here? He pitched Tuesday and threw a shutout, right? Didn't he? Or was 6, 7 scoreless innings, but he's not listed as a starter.
No.
Are they giving him a day off already too, or what?
Yeah. Did they have one on? Did
They
they have
might
one
have had
baked
a day
in?
off, but they must not be taking us serious. If they could be pitching him on his 5th day
Would
against
you?
this mighty outfit, and they must not be taking us as a serious threat. By the way, the mighty Whiteys, can they do it? Can they lose more than 120? They're 2-10 now, right?
They haven't won in April.
They haven't won in April.
I think they beat the Angels on opening day. They beat the Twins in game 1, and they have not won in the month of April yet.
Unbelievable. They still got Schifrin, though, right? They still got the guy.
Oh, yeah, John Schifrin. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Stand up, Southside.
Putting a positive spin on it. Yeah.
Stand up, Southside.
Yeah, he's doing it. Well, who's going to the Wolfies tonight? Anybody going to the Wolfies?
I'm going on Sunday. Going on Sunday. Yep.
I'm
We'll see
going
what
tonight
happens tonight.
I'm going tonight with a group, so I'm not covering the game. I'm going with a couple of grandkids and somebody else. So
All
we're
right.
gonna,
Well,
We'll learn some new
enjoy it.
words.
Yeah.
yeah.
The grandkids will learn a couple of new words. It'll be good for them.
Yes, they
Vocabulary.
were, because it'll be a war. We know that it'll be a war. They might break it open in the middle of the fourth quarter, but before that, it'll be a war.
Will they be down by double digits in this game
Yes,
tonight?
yes, definitely, definitely.
I
All
can't
right.
but believe, Patrick, that you're not going to stay home and watch the Wild try to clinch that all important playoff berth at Calgary at 9 p.m. That's what I can't believe.
Well, the Flower. We're not bringing the Flower back to back, are we? After his,
No.
as I said.
No.
They could have never won that game the other night if he hadn't stopped 77% of the shots that they took at him. That's he
Unbelievable.
he only man alive. That's loyalty to sentiment, isn't it? When you let a guy stay in there for 7 and he couldn't stop a volleyball, for goodness sakes. So,
Volleyball.
the old guy. Why do we have this love of the Flower? He's been here 2 years.
Oh,
He
I love
never
the guy. He's
won
great.
any.
I
I know
love
he's
him.
a nice
I love him.
guy,
I
but
love him.
what the hell? Why are we so loyal to him? He's not ours. We can't claim him as our guy.
He's
We'll
our
take a
Jim. He's like our Jim Tomey. Like
Yeah, we'll
he's,
take
Yes,
a
you
part
know,
of
yes, he
anyone we
is.
can get, Pat. It's Minnesota.
Yes,
We'll
yeah.
take any part we can get.
Yeah.
That's
A
awesome.
toenail, a
Great
finger, whatever he
comparison,
gives us.
great comparison, except Jim Tomey's first year, he was fantastic,
he was. Yeah.
Yes, so.
All
All
Where's
right,
right.
Pat.
Favre? Come on.
Enjoy the game tonight, Pat.
All right. I'm going to rip the Flower, I think. Okay. See you.
I
All right, see ya.
Bye.
All right, Royce Unchained. See you guys.